Should you unlock, grind, and use the CARV Point 2 in Warzone? Well, these are my top 3 cold hard reasons on why you shouldn't. Let's jump to number 1. Number 1, the weapon usabilities. What I mean by this is how far and the distances that you can use this weapon. This weapon is just very specific to certain scenarios, and that scenario is just medium range. If you are medium range to somebody, let's say maybe 50, 40 meters, 60 meters, around that range, the weapon is good, right? It's got pretty decent recoil control of that. The TTK is good enough that you can shred some people, but besides that, the weapon will not excel. I tried using this weapon for every single possible way. I use this weapon close range, extreme close range, extreme ADS, no recoil, long range, medium range, holographic sight. Any single type of weapon that you could use with this one, I tried it out. I tried this weapon for 9 hours. And the medium range is the only thing that it was good for. And that's the number 1 reason. You don't really want a gun that is only good for like a specific 20 to 30 meters. Believe me, if you're someone close range and they hit their shots, even in the legs, with any submachine gun, with any Krig, anything like that, they will beat you. The gun is not good enough for close range. If you're at long range, the recoil isn't good enough that you can control your shots and hit most of your shots. Maybe you're using the AMAX. The AMAX, you can take a couple burst shots and hit most of your shots. This gun, the recoil is just really weird. And I'm gonna jump into the recoil in the second point right now. But again, the main reason right now, number 1, is just the usability. You can only use a medium range, and if your main weapon is for only to use a medium range and you can't use it long range, medium range, and a little bit of short range, this gun is trash. You should not use it. There are just a lot better options. The M16 should still be the number 1 main burst weapon to go. Reason number 2, what I was mentioning, recoil control. Recoil is very weird in this gun. Now, a lot of people said, oh my god, this gun has no recoil. You know, maybe you're shooting at close range, medium range, and you don't notice it that much. You know, maybe the guy's playing on PC, he can handle it pretty well. But for all our controller players or people that can't control the recoil very well, this recoil is very unpredictable. And you start noticing this when you start trying to take those longer range shots that weapons like the AMAX or the M16 can handle. The M16 is pretty good because the recoil is just vertical, right? I mean, you can account for that recoil. You know exactly where it's going to land. This has like a weird vertical to the left and right that you never know which one's going to go. You never know if it's going to go left or right. And that's the problem with this. And also the other burst weapons, the recoil recentered. This meaning that whenever you shot an M16, it'll go up and then it would automatically go down, and you can just completely burst enemies without having to hold your trigger down. The problem with this one is the recoil doesn't recenter, so you actively are bursting a weapon while pulling the trigger down, but the recoil is going left and right, and you have no clue. So I just noticed that a lot of the times, even though it's a 2 burst kill, sometimes just because that third bullet was like the one-off that was going left and right and you never knew, this weapon really seems like a 3 burst kill. In the majority of the cases, it is a 3 burst kill. The recoil control is just horrible. Now let's go into my final point, number 3. So point number 3, final one, most important one of them all, is the stats. There's really nothing special about the TTK and anything about this gun. Let me actually go into it. So a lot of, True Game Data, JGod, they posted the stats, and to have a decent time to kill with this weapon, use something competitive in Warzone, you need to get in the mix about 1 to 2 headshots in it. And getting the headshots with this gun is a little more complicated than it seems like, especially when you're utilizing it for what it seems. So again, at simple view, the weapon has quick fire rate, and it seemed like it was shredding, and everybody was like, oh my god, this is going to be the new meta, this is broken. But again, I'm telling you guys, I used this gun for 9-10 hours, all right, trying out every single possible combination, different squads that I was playing in, hot drops, no hot drops, every single kind of gameplay you can imagine, and this gun just wasn't it. Most of the time the TTK is too slow, the recoil is too bad to shoot from far away. Medium range, yes, I guess you can control it, and it's got decent TTK because you can land those shots at medium range, but then why would you use that when you can have other weapons that shoot long range, medium range, and even up to closer range? Because if you got that weapon designated for medium range and no recoil, then it's going to be too slow for those close quarter engagements. And again, I try to use it close range, like a lot of people were saying, like the SMG type, and put everything, speed, the Tiger, spotlight, everything, but it just was not hitting, ladies and gentlemen. So there we go. My top 3 tips, or whatever you want to call it, reasons on why you should definitely not use the CARV 2. So if you guys haven't unlocked it yet, do not unlock this gun. It is not worth the grind. I guess maybe if you want to unlock it just for the fun, it's fun to use. But besides that, this gun is just no good, no bueno for Warzone. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section. Peace out.